to the racist nurse that was breaking the bones of Black babies. This Virginia nurse was arrested last week for breaking the bones of Black NICU babies. She worked at Henrico Doctors Hospital in Virginia. In summer 2023, a NICU baby was found to have a broken leg. But the mother of the child happened to be a NICU nurse herself, so she reported the incident to social services. After a year of investigation, social services concluded that the child's broken leg had been done by a staff member. The hospital placed Erin on paid leave for an entire year. This after 3 babies were found to have been with broken bones under her care. She returned to work in fall 2024, and during her absence, no children had any broken bones. But upon her return, an additional 3 children were found to have broken bones under her care. So in December 2024, the hospital decided to close the NICU unit to conduct a thorough investigation. And just last week, Erin Stratman was arrested. My question is, if the hospital knew that something was going on with this nurse, she was targeting Black babies and breaking their bones, why did they place her on paid leave? Why did they allow her back in the hospital? This hospital needs to be held accountable as well. And as far as this monster, she needs to be charged with a hate crime because the majority of the children she targeted were Black babies.
See, this goes back into what we were just talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now, I know there are times it looks like we are specifically talking to Black people. And in this case, I am going to specifically talk to Black people. This is why education is important. All right. This is what y'all need to understand. What Black people don't have is a proper representation of professionals, doctors, nurses, lawyers, even teachers. We don't have enough to cover the bases. I always tell people, if society went back to people taking care of their own, just like people, Black people have felt we've been the screwed over people, we will feel like that again because we don't have enough of them. We'll be yelling to society, why don't you send doctors down in our neighborhood? Because nobody wants to come and work in our neighborhoods. Because there are times we are not the nicest people in the world. I wish you had that video. I got a video of these Black girls in this place. They all dressed up and they're fighting like cats and dogs. And the white people are moving out of the way and watching them moving out of the way. This is what our people are getting degrees in. They're getting doctorates in foolishness and ghetto acting and violent acting and anger. That's where they're getting their PhDs. And they're teaching their kids these things at home. It's funny how you got time to teach your kids how to be an effing animal, but you don't have time to teach them how important that education is. Look at us as people. Now, this nurse is in there breaking these kids' legs. There are doctors out there who have professed, who are on white supremacist and white nationalist websites on their sites. These are doctors that are taking care of us as we go in for visits. You know, so Black people, once again, how many reasons, how many pieces of evidence do you need to show that we have just fallen behind so badly that this is what our children have to face? Am I saying that nurse wouldn't be a nurse if we had more Black nurses? No, what I'm saying is if there were more Black nurses in these hospitals, and I mean some Black nurses, that would be less likely to happen.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yes, sir. That would be less likely to happen. We cut our odds back when we have representation. We don't have representation. And I'm telling you, man, we are paying a heavy price, and the price gets heavier all the time. This is just yet another thing that trips us up, yet another obstacle thrown in our way. We complain about the bull crap. But what we need to do is start complaining about what we are not doing as people. Stop letting people, I'm on TikTok and I hear whenever a Black person say we are at fault for what's going on in our communities, there are Black people that come in there and rip them because they want to lean on the fact that racism is what's been holding Blacks back, that racism is holding their children back. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Is it an obstacle? Yes. But we are the kings and queens of stepping over obstacles. At least we were. But now we are a weak, crybaby nation of people. That's us.